Welcome back to another episode of Inside Access Control, sponsored by SIA. Very excited today to have a friend and a sort of, I'll call him a legend in the access control industry that's been around for a while, and all around just great guy. But John LaFond, thank you very much for taking the time to join us.
Lee, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So John's now with SecureNet, and he will jump into exactly what the company does and who they are. But I guess I wanted to just start off, John, if you wouldn't mind, give a little bit of background of yourself and then how you got to where you're currently at. And then we'll talk about sort of the differentiations and some of the feature sets and then how everything's going right now.
Great. So, I'm a 30-year security industry veteran. Started out with IEI, International Electronics in the day, came up through Linear and then Nortec, and today with a company called SecureNet. And SecureNet was a company that originally designed and manufactured an access control system for the Korean government, and then indirectly sold those designs and software to Linear. And as part of that arrangement, had an exclusivity agreement where we were able to then sell the product rest of world, but just not in North America. And today that arrangement is no longer in effect. And so we're currently out working with several other OEM partners, as well as selling private label to some of the premier integrators in the marketplace.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about the model, because it is a little bit different than traditional. As you said, it's more from an OEM side, but then also there are some key differentiators you were telling me about, sort of the structure of how the system's set up and that. So can you talk a little bit about the makeup of how you go to market, but then also how the product functions?
Yeah, so the makeup of how we go to market is we actually have been primarily an OEM supplier. And so in some cases, we have some of our customers that we actually just provide hardware for, as the technology has an API, a RESTful API, and push API at the hardware side, also at the cloud side. So we can interconnect with other providers that may need an on-premise piece of hardware to kick an existing DoorStrike, Maglock, or some other type of hardware on the local edge. And then we also have some other partners that might be strong in another technology segment, like video, as an example, but yet don't understand the go-to-market and have they might have the capability, but not the time to actually go grind up and put a very competitive product into the marketplace. So generally in that scenario, our goal is to identify a partner. I call it 1 and 1 equals 3. So when you take the individual technologies and you combine them, it really provides a superior offering for that particular partner. And being that we have end-to-end, meaning cloud services, mobile, and the hardware ecosystem.
Yeah, so it's sort of full service minus the brand, more or less, behind it. It sounds like, and I think that tracks some of the trends that we've seen where people are verticalizing. So you mentioned the integrator side. So it's not just a manufacturer that you partner with, but it's also sometimes an integrator that wants to bring their own product to market.
That's correct. Yes. Yep. And if you think about, today, the kind of rolling into the technology difference in our approach or differentiation between us and many of the other competitors is, one is we are a browser managed network appliance technology, and we license up the technology via the cloud. And so we're able to morph the hardware into many different hardware configurations via a licensing structure, as all the code base actually sits on that particular network appliance. And so we're able, through that methodology, to easily brand and provide a look and feel and a feature set specific to that particular customer, i.e. An integrator. Now, the interesting thing about COVID and our times today really reflects upon our differentiation of our product. And when I say that to you, is you think about many of our customers, many of the end users are sitting at home like we are working, and they need to, now they're starting to move back to their facilities, and they need to be able to have secure remote access to their facilities, and be able to manage and manipulate their systems from afar and do it securely. And so how do you do that with many, many of the other technologies that are out there? That has brought a lot of interest in cloud. So cloud being having, the remote capability and the flexibility to securely manage your system remotely. It also then provides a mobile factor associated with it. And so for us, we have a network appliance at the edge. We use the term hybrid, and we have a network appliance at the edge that has the full payload of all the client's information and how the system should function and operate. So you can manage that locally on the LAN or WAN. You then have an interconnect cloud service, a cloud function that allows an end user and or a dealer to log into this service at the cloud and completely, provide 100% connectivity back down to that system at the edge. So the client still owns all the data still remains at the edge should the cloud go down, but yet you still have that supreme flexibility of accessing the system outside of the facility. Then it relates to mobile, right? Everybody today wants some type of mobile interaction with their platform. Generally, mobile, unlike the cloud service, is a more simplified use case of a software, meaning it's everyday add, deletes, lock and unlock doors, view certain events, things like that. But to go and actually configure a system to what the capabilities really can be, you really want to be browsing directly into the user interface of the system and not have a minor look into the technology like through an app. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does. And I guess the other side of it being on the hybrid side, having the local data stay there, it's following the trends around data privacy and the ability to sort of leave it there and go to the cloud when you need to, which, you hit a handful of trends that we believe are going to continue. There were phase changes happening before the crisis. They're definitely, I think, going to continue to accelerate, being cloud, edge computing, so the hybrid side that you talked about, the mobile application, and the treatment of data that you get from having that. The other one being the remote access capabilities in mobile. So those are all. I mean, so with that, with the current climate that you're seeing, I mean, how are you seeing the marketplace, and where are the areas that you do see people with more interest versus others? How are you seeing the market layout currently now?
So I would say most of the folks I talk to are very, very interested in the technology, as they understand that the market has moved from something being on-premise managed only to something where they know they need remote secure connectivity to manage those platforms and integration into other platforms via the cloud. So, I see that trend. In my case, I continue to see that trend, and even more, one area that that has really helped us generate some interest is that if I don't know if you're familiar with the term SOP 303.
No, talk to me about it.
Yeah, it's if you look it up, it's a government program where they actually can turn off cellular service and internet. And so throughout the rallies over the last month or so, every major city has had some type of internet cell service interruption during these rallies. So if you have a cloud function and or mobile, when that's shut down and you're in that area and you're looking to get local management of your system, or you're looking to get management of your system to perform some type of lockdown or programming, etc., you may not have connectivity if you go to a cloud service. So the hybrid method and approach of having that local control, still being able to access your system and have that management function and capability, has really been brought to light, especially over the last 30, 60 days with the different rallies and things like that have been going on. So it's very, very, between COVID and what's going on out there, they really have helped position our product.
Yeah, I got to believe with the business continuity side of things. So whether it's that example or of others of just, when people get locked down, the ability to get to the facility is definitely an area. Absolutely. I guess as you continue to go to market, is there anything you're looking for? Are you looking for more dealers, more partners? What exactly is sort of your initiatives that you need now?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're always looking for both, right? I think the key for us is finding partners that don't overlap with each other. So if it's another OEM, as an example, I'm not introducing another OEM in the same market segment. They're in a different vertical space. Again, I look for those partnerships that 1 and 1 equals 3. When we can bring compelling value to that dealer and end user, then that significantly helps our go-to-market strategy and growth. The integrator, again, they continue to, as you know, most of the market is a direct segment and having some type of exclusivity to technology in a certain marketplace. And we're very interested in finding key dealers in different markets in order to have them be a premier provider of our technology in those segments.
Wonderful. And if people want to find out more information, where's the best place to go?
Yeah, seekinet.com.
Keeping it nice and easy on that end. And spell it for me just so, because it's pronunciation.
SICUNET.
Nice. All right. Keep it fresh. So, all right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know we did an early one pre-COVID and they got a little bit outdated. So the ability to touch base with you again and really see how things are going through the current climate, and then really the flexing of the muscles of what the system can do. So I appreciate you taking the time again. And if you need anything, please let me know.
Lee, you're the best. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.